How's it going, everyone? Just been walking on this bike track. Just went some tunnels there. It's like a pretty cool spot. Sun's going down a bit. But yeah, it's a beautiful day. Yeah, today just want to talk to you about the dangers of messing with the dark arts, like spells, enchantments and all this sort of stuff, like crystals and anything like that, like crystal balls and like fortune telling and stuff like that. Now this might be a bit controversial or whatever, but you know, just a lot of things that happen in my life and like experiences that I've had, even conversations that I've had with other people, you know, regarding these things. It's like, just time and time again, it just seems like, you know, like anyone that I know or come into contact with that's like, you know, been messing with these things, like there's always been like really freaky occurrences, you know, whether it's been like, you know, in their house, you know, where there's been like, you know, spirits and things like that have like, you know, manifested themselves in their actual place, or, you know, things like a whole bunch of, like a series of things are going wrong. You know, I think of like, you know, stories, you know, that people have told me over the years, like even my dad again, like, you know, telling me things that he went through when he was staying in a place in Sydney, Wayside Chapel, I think it was called. And yeah, he went to like lay down in this room. Now this Wayside Chapel place, it's like a sort of like a halfway house or something like that. It's like where people stay, you know, all kinds, you know, just, you know, short-term stay and stuff like that. But just, you know, a lot of wild things going on there, as you imagine, because like, you know, just so many people stay there. So like, and it's, you know, it's far from, you know, it's far from like, you know, a holiday, you know, it's not like this nice, you know, holiday park, you know, beautiful with a swimming pool and all that sort of stuff. No, it's like, you know, you have like a lot of toxic people coming in and out of there, like, and I won't go into details about that, but yeah, let's just say there's a lot of toxic people staying there and stuff like that. And yeah, he just like, he was staying there for whatever reason at that time in his life, and like he went to like sleep in this room, he went to lay down and stuff, and it's like just as he was like closed his eyes and he just like was starting to drift off, he sort of opened his eyes again or something. He just saw this like this black, like this dark cloud above him, you know, and he just got so freaked out. Now, you know, my dad's not, you know, not the sort of person, you know, just get freaked out, you know, about any old thing. Like, anyways, he this thing just completely shocked him and scared the crap out of him, right? Like, to the point where it made him like scream out, and like the people that he was staying with there, they came into the room, they're like, oh, like what's going on and stuff like that. They were like, you know, really concerned about it. He's really screaming out. And anyway, he told me that, and he said, yeah, I had that happen. I had this like, you know, this fear, it was like a fear cloud that was like hovering above him, you know? It just spewed out this fear. And then he told me another time he was like on top of a mountain, because he used to like do prospecting and stuff like that, and he used to sleep out in the hills and that. And he said he was up on top of this hill, and yeah, again, he was like sleeping, you know, sleeping out on the hill, had all his stuff there. And the same thing, like this, you know, this dark cloud energy, whatever, fear energy. And it was like, just fear. And it was like sort of trying to induce thoughts into his head and like tell him to like jump. It was like, it was like suicidal ideation sort of thing. It was like telling him to like jump off this cliff and stuff. And he said it was like the same sort of thing as what happened in the hotel. But you'll find like these places like where there's been like, lots of bad energy in there, like where there's, over the years or whatever, like, and you'll find in places like that, there's always like, you can feel this real heaviness. There's like this heaviness in the rooms and stuff like that. And, you had discussions with people and like, oh, what happened here? And it's like, oh, this person died, this person hung themselves or, whatever. There'd be something that's gone on there. Yeah, and I just like, relate it back to, things that have happened in my life. Like, I'm like, yeah, I was staying in a place and then, I found out that my friend's brother, right, was, conjuring up all these things, was conjuring up all these things in the room, burning stuff and like, I don't know, doing spells and chants and things like that. And I think like, well, that actually makes a lot of sense now, because the thing that I saw, and I might have, mentioned this in another video, but like the dark spirit thing that I saw in my room was like his stature, it was like, just like his height and, his body type and all that sort of stuff. Like, I could see the silhouette of this thing and it was just frozen standing at the end of my bed. Like when I switched the light off. And this thing, again, it was just like, it was just fear. It was just it just felt like I just got all this fear energy off this thing. And that's why I went into like, because this is all I could think about the next day, was what actually happened there. Why was this thing, manifesting itself and stuff. And like, and he's like, yeah, my brother used to live there and stuff like that. And I'm like, hang on, I put 2 and 2 together. I'm like, yeah, well, that thing was just like pretty much like a silhouette. Like a shadow thing that's, it was like blacker than the black. It like stood out in the black. And you just think like, how is that even possible? But it is. But yeah, like what I wanted to get across in this message is like, if people are messing with these things, like, messing with demonic things and stuff like that, like conjuring up things and like, tarot cards and all this kind of stuff. Like, let me tell you now, you're asking for trouble, eh? Because those things are real and they're going to show up. Those entities, those dark spirits and stuff like that, or these demons, they're going to show up. They're going to, like, if you invite them, they're going to come into your house, because you're inviting them. And yeah, of course, things are going to go wrong. Things are going to, start moving around, or, it's like you're bringing curses on yourself. When you're messing with these things, because you're inviting these energies, these dark energies, and you don't want that in your life. You don't want to be messing with that. So if anyone's like, saying, oh, this is awesome, let's start doing Ouija boards and things like that, anything like that, you're messing with demons. And not only with these things, like, they won't just like come and stay in your house and things like that if you conjure things up like that. What their objective is to house themselves inside bodies. Not just houses, but like, it's like they make their home in you if they can, because that's one of their prime objectives is to take over the human, take over the person. Because when you start conjuring up things, or you start asking things to come into your life and stuff like that, and start trying to tap into the other side and all this sort of stuff, like astral projecting and all that stuff, like all that stuff is just demonic and it's dangerous. But it's like people I'm saying everyone, but like a lot of people like romanticize it, or like try to put this like, oh, it's put this like thing on it that it's oh, it's wonderful, it's awesome, it's like fascinating and all this sort of stuff. And it's like, nah, it's like you're messing with demons. You're messing with these things that, yeah, in the initial stages they might come across as like, as like a good thing or something. Like they would say, oh, like, I'll show you the way, and and it's all a facade. Yeah, it's all a lie. From demons, just to trick you into this, to playing with that stuff, to messing with black magic and like dark arts and things like that. So don't fall into that trap. Don't fall into that trap and mess with that stuff. Because I tell you, it's real. And the demons have, they have no, like if you invite it, it's going to come into your life. It's going to take over your mind, body, and your soul if it can. Because its objective is to kill you. Its objective is to destroy you. And if it can take over your thought processes and stuff like that, and have you feeling all depressed and all this sort of stuff, like all that stuff is just like depression and all that. It's all oppressive, and it's all from demons. It's all from the enemy, eh? So if anyone's like trying to say, oh, this is cool, come along with us, let's do this. It's going to get things moving in the house, and oh, it's so spooky, we're playing games. No, it's nothing to be playing games with, because these things, they want to destroy you. It wants to oppress you. It wants to bring you into that, where you're feeling sad and where you're feeling down and gloomy and stuff like that. It doesn't want you progressing. It doesn't want you to be filled with light. It doesn't want you to be speaking the truth. All those things, they're just about confusion, They want you to be all confused. They want you to be down. They want you to be like, what am I doing in my life and stuff like that. And that's what these things will do if you invite them into your life. I've had other friends too, they've told me things where this thing keeps, these spirits, they keep following them, from house to house to house. Because what these things do is they attach themselves to people. They attach themselves to people. They go into houses, they'll stay, if they're called up in a house, sometimes they'll stay in the house. But if they're attached to those people, they'll follow those people. And they'll show up in their new house, and the next house after that, and the next house after that, until it's told, or till it's rebuked, until it's commanded to leave from the house and from the person's life. But this is how serious it is. And it's the truth. It doesn't matter what anyone says. That's why I'm emphasizing the seriousness of this as well. Because these things, they're out to kill you, whether we believe it or not. And if they're given a chance, that's what they'll do. And they'll follow you around, and they'll dominate your life. As much as it can. It just wants to, make you feel down, make you feel oppressed, make you feel confused, It just wants to feed your lies. It wants to put a cloud of darkness, a veil over your eyes and over your life, and send you on the wrong path. It's not going to tell you the truth. It's just going to feed you a bunch of lies. And this is what's happened to this is what I believe that's happened to a lot of these narcissists, right? See, what the enemy will do, it'll come into your life at a weak point, at a weak time in your life. He'll show up and, he'll do things, it'll create fear, or a time, it'll make you feel, it'll attack when you're at your weakest point. And that's what I believe that happened to these narcissists when they were younger. There was the abuse, there was the trauma and everything like that. But see, what happened is I believe the enemy came in at that weak point when that trauma happened. And then it just fed the lies, you know what I mean? It just put a cloud on it, said you're not good enough and all this sort of stuff. But I can give you this, I can take all the pain away, I can provide you I can protect you from all of this, And all these other lies it fed, it fed to them when they were younger. And, when we're younger, like we're, impressionable and stuff like that, we're still working things out. We're young, we don't know a lot of, we're still, it's like our identity, or like our personalities and stuff haven't been fully formed and stuff like that, so it's like we're impressionable and that's when the enemy gets in at a weak point. And if it can get a stronghold in that person's life, it can be very hard to break. Because it's got such a stronghold in that person's life, and it's like it's dominating their mind, it's dominating everything about them now. Now they're like living the lie, they become the lie, they're walking in the lies and everything like that, and they're so delusional now that they can't tell the difference between what's reality and what's falsity. But yeah, this is what I just wanted to make this video, just talking about this, the dangers of messing with anything like that. Like Ouija boards, spells, crystals, tarot cards, astral projecting, anything like that coming out of your body and all this sort of stuff, like anything like that, you're just you're creating a doorway. It's like a portal. You're opening, you're opening yourself up to the demonic realm. Just keep it real, that's exactly what it is. And these things will show up, and these things will happen, because you're messing with something that is real, and it will reveal itself, and there will be spirits coming into your house, and if it can, it will try and get into your body, and it will try to dominate your mind and tell you all these kinds of lies and stuff like that. And this is what we need to be aware of. Because whether we've seen spirits or not, or whether we've had anything happen like that before, but I'm telling you now, if you're messing with anything like that, you're asking for trouble there. Because these things are true and they will show up and they will try and take you out. It's like what they've done with these narcissists, you know. And now they're walking through life, you know, it's like they've sacrificed themselves, and now, you know, these demons that are in control of them, they just want, you know, it's like, well, I require you, you know, other sacrifices, you know, to go out to, you know, around the world and like, you know, make all, you know, punish all these other people around and like destroy all these other people's lives around them. It's because they've been manipulated and controlled, lied to, you know, they've had the truth distorted, like, you know, they're in a delusion now. And now they're just on this, you know, because they're controlled by these demons and stuff like that, you know, they're working with the devil. But they're so delusional, they don't even realize it. But anyway, it's getting a bit dark now. Hope you're having an awesome day. Hope you're, you know, kicking ass in life. Peace everyone out there. Thanks for the likes, subscribes and everything. Much appreciated. I'll talk to you again in another video. Peace out. Peace and love.